Okay, 1, 10, 40?
I would say probably at least 30.
30. How would you know they're 30 if you weren't scrolling?
Because I'm guessing. I don't want to look at these photos.
Well, then why are you? How do you know they're 30?
Because when I clicked onto the folders, she had multiple folders named contacts. I didn't know which one was which. It's her laptop, so I clicked the first one.
Do you have a screenshot of your desktop?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Can I see it?
Thank you.
Okay. So there's one folder that says contacts, and there's another folder that says contact with a heart.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And so you chose the one that said
chose the one with the heart.
contact singular with a heart to look at.
Yes, I did not realize that it was a heart at the time. I thought it was a red dot to indicate the importance of it.
Noah, really?
Do not talk to him directly. You are in court now. The time for that has passed.
Viewers asked, and now Judge Milian has the answer.
Question is, would you be able to sue a tattoo artist for a misspelling?
Misspellings in tattoos, unfortunately, happen more often than you think. You'd think, oh, how's that ever going to happen? But reputable tattoo artists are going to make you approve.
That's right.
There's going to be a proof of it, and you're going to approve it.
And you're going to. So it's going to be your misspelling or your adoption of their misspelling.
Exactly.
Right.
But reputable tattoo artists also often have insurance to protect against things like that, where they could cover it if it was something that needed to be paid out, some sort of claim on it. But
really, it's so easy. It's just like when you order invitations and then they're misprinted. Absolutely. You know, it's so. If you're the business person, the easiest thing in the world is to have the person signed, this is exactly what I want on my body. That's irreversible.
Absolutely.
So essentially, and the same with engraved invitations. If anybody still does that, you know, you'd have to order a whole new set if there's a misprint. So you just have the patron sign something saying yes, that's what I want.
But you know, there's this element of permanency when you're working on the human body as a canvas. It's a little different. So
you should be really careful.
Right? They have something now called ephemeral ink that they'll put on people that supposedly fades pretty quickly. And on a lot of people, it'll fade out within months or weeks, months. I don't know, pretty quickly. So it's going to go back to normal or be virtually invisible within a short period of time. And then there's always henna, I suppose. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, how many tattoos do you have again, Marilyn?
0. How many tattoos do you have?
1.
Yep.
1.
And she doesn't look like me at all.
She's supposed to look like you.
She doesn't look like me. She looks like a stripper.
No, it looks a little bit like you if you were a stripper. No. No, but it does look like you. And so.
Yeah. Just put your suit.
Coming up.
And you said?
And I was just so pissed off that I just started yelling at him. There were some F-bombs thrown. I said, you have no right to judge me. How dare you look through my personal laptop? You had no right.
Nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Sierra Woodman, who blames her ex-boyfriend, Noah Crane, for unfairly firing her.
So you open up the one with the heart.
Yeah.
And then you look through 30 photographs of her boyfriend naked.
I did not look through them. I saw them enough to indicate what it was.
All right, so she comes in. What happened when you walked in?
When I walked in, I was very shocked, and he looks at me and laughs. He says, oh, you're that kind of girl.
And you said?
And I was just so pissed off that I just started yelling at him. There were some F-bombs thrown. I said, you have no right to judge me. How dare you look through my personal laptop? You had no right. And I just got very upset, Your Honor, and I just...
Were there other people listening?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
At least 10.
Okay, and what was their reaction?
Their reaction was more just hiding, more just like, don't look, more like, oh my God.
Right. All right, so then tell me about when she walks in. When she walks in, are you in flagrante delicto looking at the pictures?
No.
How would she know that you looked at him if you weren't?
Because they were still up. And
oh, so they were still up. Okay.
Yeah. She walks in, and I thought because we dated, I would just make a simple joke saying like, oh, you're into this types of pictures. And she took it very personal.
What exactly did you say?
I looked at her and went, oh, so you're into this kind of stuff.
Did you say you're that kind of girl?
Yeah.
Coming up.
She would like me to order you to pay her the remainder of her contract because her feelings are that all she did was respond appropriately to your bad. What say you to that?
Well, I have the contract with me that she did sign like that.
Okay, let me see the contract.
Nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Sierra Woodman, who blames her ex-boyfriend, Noah Crane, for unfairly firing her.
And you just don't understand what the problem is? For a boss to go into a personal computer, see private pictures that are none of his business, and then judge her and shame her? You don't see the problem?
No.
Okay. I figured. Okay, so then she starts screaming at you, and now it's a scene at work.
Yes.
Right? And then what do?
Well, she starts screaming and cursing at me, and by the way, there were 10 people. 7 of them were important clients that I was trying to bring to the business because we had the board meeting. And they could clearly hear this screaming mad woman just going off, and that was clearly going to hurt my business. So I had to make a decision and decide to fire her.
Okay. Now, she's not an at-will employee because you actually make her sign yearly contracts, correct?
Yes.
And she's suing you for the rest of her contract because, in her estimation, her reaction was an appropriate reaction to your bad. Like you're saying, well, she did a bad thing. She screamed at me. By the way, it didn't end up costing you any clients, right?
Thankfully not. They were able to give me another chance.
So once again, there's no consequence for the man, but there's a bunch of consequences for the woman, right? Okay. She would like me to order you to pay her the remainder of her contract because her feelings are that all she did was respond appropriately to your bad. What say you to that?
Well, I have the contract with me that she did sign like that.
Okay, let me see the contract.
Judge Milian's verdict when Justice for the People returns. Promotional consideration. Milian.
I presume that you're calling my attention to this contract may be terminated at any time during the term of this contract if the employee fails to substantially carry out the terms of the contract. Is that what you wanted me to look at?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. So how did she fail to substantially carry out the terms of the contract? The episode between the two of you was 100% of a personal nature.
Well, she was on the clock. She had to be there for me when I needed to get client information.
I'm so done. Mr. Crane, listen to me. It is very risky to date your underling. But when you do, it is even riskier to go through their personal computer, see naked pictures of their boyfriend, and then comment on it and try to shame her. Okay?
लेना दे जाएगा।
पैंतालीस डिग्री इनसे बर्दाश्त नहीं हो रहा और बीवी इनको हार्ट चाहिए। छात
रुक रुक चल
I'll be it. So.